As many of us spend more time at home, the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission is urging families now more than ever to make safety a top priority when considering spending time outdoors. So joining us this morning to discuss the outdoor safety checklist, CPSC Commissioner Dana Beckow. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Laura. How are you?
I'm good. So why is it so important to make safety a top priority when considering spending time outdoors?
Well, it's a top priority when considering time outdoors and indoors, especially since we're all finding ourselves still working at home, and many of us will be homeschooling or having school online for our kids. So let's start outside. If your children are playing outside, make sure that they are supervised, especially if they're riding their scooters or bikes in the driveway or cul-de-sac. Make sure that there's safety equipment for those devices are up. Make sure it's up to date. When kids outgrow their clothing and their shoes, they're going to outgrow their safety equipment. Make sure they have a helmet that fits properly. Make sure they have the proper elbow pads and knee pads, and don't leave them unsupervised. I can tell you in my own neighborhood, we have kids riding around and then people are trying to pull out from their driveways. It could be a catastrophic situation that can be very much avoided. As delivery people are coming to our homes, make sure your garden hoses are wrapped up and no tripping hazards are there. If you have ladders from home projects, put them away, or if you're still using them, make sure you have a spotter. Don't get up on those ladders without some help. And if you're lucky enough to have a pool, certainly there in Florida, pool safety is also very important. Don't leave your children unsupervised. Make sure they're swimming with a buddy and you know the rules of the relevant pool that you're working with.
Yeah, drowning, it's a silent killer. So what are the most common hazards?
Right now, we're seeing a lot of bike issues. And of course, people aren't going to the emergency room as often because of the virus and trying to give the hospitals some time off. So we're not getting the numbers or all reports of injuries, but we are seeing some bike accidents. But let's talk a little bit about indoors. Indoors are really important right now because you have everything going on. It's chaotic. If it's anything like my house, it's chaotic. So we have all of our kids have our computers plugged in. We have our computers plugged in. You have the pets running around. Take a look at those cords. You have cords that are tripping hazards around the house. Make sure that those are put out of the way or wrapped up as best as possible. And even things like if you're ordering online, make sure you're ordering from a reputable place because we're seeing a lot of counterfeits coming in, and that could expose you to dangers in products that otherwise shouldn't be there. Water filters are a very good example. Buy from a authorized dealer of water filters. Don't have those come in counterfeit. They're going to put the chemicals right back in your water. And make sure your pieces of toys are reorganized and picked back up. I mean, we can even do, since we're homeschooling, let's do a little safety boot camp and get the kids to go around and report back to you what hazards they see. You'd be surprised what they see. Take the time to slow down and regroup for the upcoming season.
That was a lot of information right there. And it is a lot of information to make sure people stay safe. So if people want to learn more and anything about what you just said, where should they go?
CPSC.gov, saferproducts.gov. And also the CPSC has a recall app. Download that app. You can see what products have been recalled or any safety issues that are out there. It's a good time to check your home to make sure that you don't have recalled products. And if you do, participate in the recall or discard the product. Also check your chemicals and household cleaning products. Do they have a label that you can still read? You need to read the label so that you use them properly. If not, let's start over.
All great information right there. I highly recommend going to CPSC's website because there's a lot of great resources right there for parents at home. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.